So it's episode 200 of 2 Minute Tuesday. I think we've probably recorded more than 200 episodes of 2 Minute Tuesday because lots of them we've done multiple episodes on the same subject. But regardless, it's episode number 200 of 2 Minute Tuesday. So we thought we'd take a break from the normal sort of the taxes and the paperwork and the buying and the selling of property and have a look at something that's a little bit more fun. And so we're going to do an episode which is the sort of the 10 life hacks, if you like, for living your best life here in Spain. So some of the bits and the bobs that we've picked up in our 20-odd years of living here in Spain that may be useful for you when you're looking at purchasing a property, or whether it's to live here or a holiday home. So with no further ado, let's get on with it with the top 10 hacks for living in Spain with Hondon Valley Homes. Okay, so the first hack is about the art of the Spanish schedule. The clock in Spain runs differently to Northern Europe, and one of the big things that is peculiar to Spain is the siesta. Now, although it's not as enforced or as common as it maybe was many years ago, it is still widely adopted in Spain. And between the hours of 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock, not an awful lot happens. So you need to plan accordingly. You'll find that lots of shops, small supermarkets, things like that will be shut between those hours for siesta. And so you need to plan accordingly. My sort of top tip when it comes to this, however, is that you can take advantage of it. That if you wanted to go to the likes of Mercadona, or you wanted to go to Carrefour, the big supermarkets, you will find that during the mornings and from 6 o'clock until they close at 9-10 o'clock in the evening, they're packed. But if you go between 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock, you'll be there with maybe just the foreigners who don't observe the siesta, and you'll find that the supermarkets will be an awful lot less busy during those hours. Now, the second one is something that people might be familiar with, but be surprised that it's still in operation. And that is that you can buy an awful lot of stuff in Spain from a van. So you will find driving around the areas at different times, you'll find things like bread vans, vegetable vans, some places will have a fish van, frozen food, bottled gas, even things like knife sharpening and things like this. So you will be able to get everything that you need from a van. And it's also going to be fresh and cheap, because often the supplies will be from the guy who's driving the van. They will have a market garden and they will pick the stuff fresh in the morning, and it'll be on the van and delivered to people's houses. Some of them we used somebody called Mountain View Farm, and that's an organic farm, and they come and deliver all the vegetables directly to you. So a useful little one. At number 3, we've got invest in a fly screen. You know, if you're the sort of person that's going to get annoyed by bugs, mozzies, flies, things like that, then a good fly screen is something that is worth its weight in gold. You can have 2 options. You can either have magnetic ones that just fit on doors and windows, very cheap. You can buy them in all the DIY places, or you can go and have proper ones fitted that are sliding ones. We even have them on the door here, and as you can see, these sort of slide. Whoop, if I can do it properly. These sort of slide like this, and it just means that you can go in and out without having to have any issues with letting flies in, because you know the moment that you leave the door open, especially in, I think it's September sort of time, which is when you tend to have the flies, the moment you leave the door open for more than 30 seconds, one will come in and annoy you for some time. Okay, the next one we have is use toldos like a local. Now, what is toldos, I hear? These are the awnings, the screens that you see outside lots of properties, blocks of apartments and things like this. Now, we don't have them on our house. We have things called persianas, which are the metal shutters that come down. But what you will find the locals do is when you move to Spain, you become a heat management specialist. And what this means is that during the winter you have all your window shutters up, and you allow all the sunlight in, and it will warm the house and keep you nice and warm. And in the summer you do the complete opposite. As the sun comes up, all the shutters go down on that side of the house, and you keep the sun out of the house during the day. And if you have toldos, then you bring the toldos down before the sun even gets onto that side of the building. And trust me, you will have a great night's sleep. And I think there were reports from one of the air conditioning companies that even the persianas and the toldos can reduce the temperature in that specific room by between 5 and 10 degrees. So if you want to cut down on the cost of air conditioning, it's a good way to get around it. Number 5, this is one of the ones I really, really like. And it's say hello to everybody. And it's a bit weird when you first move here, but you soon get used to it. And it's just a really nice thing about Spain. If you're walking through the village or you're walking down the road and there's an old chap or lady sat on a bench at the side of the road, you just, with a big smile and make eye contact, and you give them a big hola. And it just leaves you with a good feeling. It leaves them with a smile on their face, and why not? Nobody here will look at you like you're crazy for saying hello to them. I know in some countries, if you randomly said hello to somebody, they'd think there's something wrong with you. It's the complete opposite here, and it's lovely, and it's free, and it's just a really nice thing to do. Number 6 we're on now, and I've got get to grip with gas bottles. So although where I am here, we're on, which is La Montañosa in Rondon de las Nieves, we have city gas here, mains gas, and they do in other places. But most people will have gas bottles, whether that's for central heating or for like barbecue gas bottles, or for running combination showers and things like this. And you can buy them in petrol stations, you can buy them in the ferreteria, you can buy them in lots of different places. And you either have Cepsa or you have Repsol, the two main companies who deliver them around here. The hack I've got is that when they're full, they're quite heavy, and so you can actually get them delivered. So rather than taking the empty ones and then having to fill and put heavy ones in the back of your car, is find out when they actually deliver and then get them on the route. Or if you're lucky enough to see one, try and flag them down and see if you can get them to drop off some bottles for you. But they are heavy, so it sort of saves you a little bit of time. Number 7, I've got join the local Facebook group. Whether you like Facebook and social media or whatever, irrespective, even if you don't use it for social media sort of things, is that you will find an awful lot of information. So for example, here in La Montañosa and in the Rondons, we have Facebook pages which are dedicated for this area. And so you can sell stuff, you can buy stuff, you can find out about the fiestas and things like this. It's a great information portal. And as long as you use it responsibly, then fantastic, do it. What people shouldn't do is post when they're on holiday and that you're going to be away, or that you're going away for the weekend and things like that, because that's common sense not to do that. But use it for information gathering, and you'll get a lot more out of life here. Number 8, we've got cash. Now, it might seem an old-fashioned thing, but a lot of the smaller shops and bars and restaurants would prefer cash than maybe paying on a credit card. Cash is still prevalent here. You can live without it, so I mean you can just come with a credit card and buy everything. But I think if you're going to buy a cafe con leche in a little cafe or a bar or something, it's always nice to pay in cash and leave a little tip. Just as a thank you, and that's a little bit more difficult if you're paying on a credit card. So cash, although it's not king anymore, it's still quite nice for some of the small businesses if you offer to pay in cash. Okay, so at number 9, now this ties in quite well with I think number 4, which is about using the awnings that told us. But invest in a good ceiling fan. Now, long gone are the days with the ceiling fans that have got those little glass lamps on them and a couple of chains that hang down that would rattle in the evening when you've got the fan on. The fans now run on silent bearings. They have remote controls. They have dimmable LED lights. Some of the ones we have will ramp down in power throughout the evening. You can set a timer on them, things like this. But if you've done your very best to keep the bedroom, as an example, cool, then again, to cut down on costs, basically just put the aircon on for 10, 15, 20 minutes before you go to bed, get the room nice and cool, and shut all the doors and windows, and put the fan on, and just have some circulating air, and it's much easier to get to sleep. My top tip on that is, if you have the opportunity and you're lucky enough to have a swimming pool, then go and have a swim before you go to bed. Go and have a swim. It sort of cools the core down, and you'll probably sleep an awful lot better. Still put the fan on though, because you know, you want to keep the room nice and cool when you're going to bed. And the last one that I've got, and this is, I think, quite an important one, is get to know your local Fiesta calendar. There's no better way of integrating with the community than partaking in the fiestas, and Spain is the king when it comes to it. I mean, we live in a little village here in Hondon de las Nieves, as the example. 2,500 people. Just down the road, we've got Hondon de los Frailes, and we've got La Canalosa with 1,500 and maybe 400 respectively. And all of these villages have amazing fiestas, when everybody comes out onto the streets, and there are parades that are fun. There are parades with traditional aspects. There are parades with religious aspects, and they are breathtaking to see. The effort and the community spirit that is here. And you know, I often have Spanish friends who turn around and say, you know, so what do you have in the UK that's similar to this? And I jokingly say we have Morris dancers and cheese rolling, but you know, it's amazing when you're here, and you do need to see it. And we've got lots of videos on this YouTube channel of things like the Correfoc, which is where they run through the streets on fire, and the parades, and the choosing of the fontaneras, which is the young girls in all the traditional dress who represent the village for a couple of years, the flower parades, the Moors and Christians. It goes on and on and on, and all of it is really great nature. It normally finishes with fireworks and lots of fun. And the thing I would warn you is that an awful lot of them start very late and finish very late. But again, that's because of the temperature. So there we go. Episode 200 wrapped up. Really, we didn't know what to do. We didn't know whether to do a retrospective over the years, or so hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. If you have any questions or queries, please don't hesitate to contact me, and I'll be more than happy to help. We don't just make these videos. We buy properties, we sell properties. We're involved in all aspects of helping people when they move here to Spain. So thank you for sticking with us. If you subscribe on our YouTube channel or on our Facebook page, it is greatly appreciated. If you don't, why aren't you? Please click on the link down in the corner, or whichever corner it is, I don't know. And hopefully we'll see you for many more years to come. So that's episode 200 wrapped up. Until the next episode, have an amazing day. Enjoy the fantastic weather we're having, and we'll speak to you soon. Until then, adios. Hello and welcome to Hondon Valley Homes' new video blog. My name is Stephen Bromley and I'm the owner of Hondon Valley Homes and La Montañosa Villas. I've been selling Spanish properties since 2006, and in this series of videos my goal is to share with you the knowledge that I've gained over the last 12 or so years selling properties in this beautiful area of the Costa Blanca South. Our aim is to answer many of the important questions that you have either as a buyer or as a vendor. So please, without further ado, I'd like to welcome you to the very first of our weekly video guides, which we'll be uploading each and every Tuesday. They'll be just a couple of minutes in length, and we've imaginatively titled them 2 Minute Tuesday.